My name is Claire Morrison. I'm 32 years old. 6 weeks ago, I sat at my parents' anniversary party while my mother gave a speech to 47 guests about her greatest achievement in life, my twin sister Emma. Not both of us, just Emma. As my mother raised her champagne glass, she said, "I always tell people I have two daughters, but really, I have one exceptional daughter and one, well, Claire tried her best. Emma is everything a parent could hope for. Claire is what happens when nature makes a mistake with twins." 47 people heard her call me a mistake, a failure, the worthless twin who couldn't measure up to my identical sister. My father laughed and added, "We used to call them the good twin and the worthless twin. Guess which one is which?" He gestured to Emma, who smiled uncomfortably but didn't correct him. I sat there, frozen, while my family and their friends witnessed my parents publicly declaring my worthlessness after 25 years of saying it privately. But what my parents didn't know was that 3 days earlier, I'd visited the hospital where we were born to request our birth records for my health insurance. What they couldn't have imagined was that those records contained information about our delivery that contradicted everything they'd told me my entire life. And when I stood up at that anniversary party, when I pulled out those hospital records and read aloud what actually happened the day we were born, my mother's face went from smug to absolutely devastated. Before I tell you what those records revealed, please like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time is it there. I love connecting with all of you. Now, let me take you back to where this started. Growing up in Portland, Maine, I learned early that being born second meant being worth less, even though Emma and I were identical twins born 2 minutes apart. My family. Dad was a corporate lawyer, successful and demanding. Mom stayed home and managed our lives like a competition she was determined Emma would win. Emma was born first. I was born second. Those 2 minutes defined our entire childhood. Emma got celebrated. I got tolerated. When we were 7 years old, we both auditioned for the school play. We practiced the same lines, wore the same outfits to auditions, did everything identically. Emma got the lead role. I got cast as a tree. "Well, Emma has natural talent," Mom said at dinner that night. "She was born to shine. Claire, you'll have your own strength someday. They just might not be as visible." Dad nodded. "Emma's the firstborn. First is always best. That's just how it works." I was 7. I believed them. At 13, we both tried out for the volleyball team. Same practices, same skills, same height and build because we were identical twins. Emma made varsity. I made JV. "The coaches see what we see," Mom said. "Emma has that competitive edge. She was born first, born to lead. You were second, Claire. You'll always be following." "But we're identical," I said. "How can she be better at volleyball when we're literally the same?" "You're not the same," Dad said firmly. "You might look identical, but Emma has something you don't. Drive, excellence, worth." Worth. That word followed me everywhere. At 16, we both applied to the same colleges. Same grades, same test scores, same extracurriculars. We even wrote similar essays. Emma got into Harvard. I got waitlisted. "See?" Mom said, like this proved her point. "Same application, different results. Because Emma is exceptional and you're ordinary." When I finally got accepted off the waitlist 2 months later, Mom said, "They probably needed to fill a quota. You got in on luck, not merit." I went to Harvard. I worked twice as hard as Emma. I had to prove I deserved to be there. Emma coasted through, getting B's and C's, partying, enjoying college. I got straight A's, worked part-time, graduated summa cum laude. "Well, you had to work harder," Mom said at graduation. "Emma is naturally gifted. You had to compensate." After college, we both went into business. Emma got an MBA from a mid-tier program and landed a job through Dad's connections, making $85,000 a year. I got my MBA from Wharton and earned a position at a Fortune 500 company, making $120,000 a year, purely on my own merit. Money isn't everything, Dad said. Emma has grace, charm, the qualities that make someone truly valuable. I started keeping detailed records. Every achievement dismissed. Every time they called Emma exceptional and me worthless. Every moment they attributed her success to talent and mine to luck. Over 25 years, I documented 127 achievements they minimized or ignored. 68 times they called Emma the good twin. 23 times they directly called me the worthless one. Every birthday, Christmas, graduation, where Emma got more attention, better gifts, genuine pride. Meanwhile, I'd built a successful career. Senior VP of Operations at 32, $240,000 salary, published in business journals, industry awards. Emma was doing fine. Marketing manager making $95,000. Good job, nice life, but not exceptional by any objective measure. Yet my parents only saw her achievements, only celebrated her existence. 3 months ago, my company's HR department asked for my birth records for updated health insurance. Standard request. I called the hospital where we were born, Portland General Hospital. I need copies of my birth records, I told the records department. I'm a twin. Claire Morrison, born July 15, 1992. I'll pull the file, the clerk said. Morrison twins, July 1992. The records arrived a week later. Official hospital documents, details about our delivery. I opened them, curious about medical history. What I found was something else entirely. The delivery summary was detailed. Timestamps, complications, medical interventions. I read it once, then again, then a third time, my hands shaking. Everything my parents had told me about our birth was wrong. Not just incomplete, deliberately wrong. I called the hospital back. I need to understand these records, I said. It says there were complications during delivery? Yes, the clerk said, pulling up the file. Looks like twin B, that's you, needed immediate intervention after delivery. Twin A experienced fetal distress in utero. Twin B's delivery was delayed to provide emergency care to Twin A. What kind of emergency care? According to this, Twin A's umbilical cord was compressed during labor. Restricted oxygen flow. She needed resuscitation immediately after birth. Twin B, you, were kept in utero for an additional 7 minutes while medical teams stabilized Twin A. 7 minutes. Yes. The doctor's notes indicate that retaining Twin B in utero helped maintain blood flow to Twin A through the shared placenta. Your delayed delivery potentially saved your twin's life. I couldn't speak. It also says here that Twin B had higher APGAR scores and stronger vital signs. Twin A required NICU care for oxygen support. Twin B was healthy, moved to regular nursery immediately. I thanked her and hung up. I sat in my apartment staring at these records. Emma, the good twin, the exceptional one, the firstborn leader, had nearly died during delivery. My delayed birth, staying in the womb for 7 extra minutes, had helped save her life by maintaining blood flow through our shared placenta. I had stronger vital signs, higher APGAR scores, immediate good health. Emma needed NICU care and oxygen support, but none of that mattered to my parents. She was born first, therefore, she was better. Even though being born first nearly killed her, I made copies of everything: the delivery summary, the doctor's notes, the APGAR scores, the NICU records. Then I waited. My parents' 35th anniversary party was 3 weeks later. They'd rented a country club ballroom, invited everyone they knew, 47 guests. Emma was the guest of honor somehow. Mom had decided to combine the anniversary with celebrating Emma's recent promotion to senior marketing manager. I almost didn't go. I was tired of being the worthless twin at family events, but I went, with the hospital records in my purse. The party was exactly what I expected. Beautiful venue, expensive catering, my parents holding court. Emma looked beautiful in a designer dress they'd bought her. I wore a dress I'd bought myself. During dinner, Mom stood to give a speech. 35 years ago, I married my best friend, she began. Everyone smiled. And 7 years later, we had the greatest gift of our lives, our daughters. She paused. Well, daughter, singular, Emma. The room got uncomfortable. People glanced at me. I always tell people I have 2 daughters, but really, I have one exceptional daughter and one, well, Claire tried her best. Emma is everything a parent could hope for. Beautiful, accomplished, graceful. Claire is what happens when nature makes a mistake with twins. A few people gasped. Others looked away. Dad laughed and stood up. We used to call them the good twin and the worthless twin. Everyone always asks, how do you tell identical twins apart? I tell them, easy. Emma succeeds effortlessly. Claire struggles endlessly. Emma looked uncomfortable, but raised her glass when others did. My Aunt Linda looked horrified. My cousin Mark was staring at my parents like he'd never seen them before. I stood up. Can I say something? I asked. Mom looked annoyed. Claire, this is your father's and my anniversary. And you just called me worthless in front of 47 people, I said calmly. I think I've earned a response. The room went silent. I pulled out the hospital records. You've spent 25 years telling me that Emma is the good twin because she was born first. That being firstborn made her exceptional and me worthless. That those 2 minutes defined our entire worth. They do, Dad said. Firstborns are leaders. Secondborns are followers. Except I wasn't second by choice, I said. I was second because the medical team held me in the womb for 7 extra minutes to save Emma's life. Mom's face went pale. What are you talking about? Emma asked. I held up the hospital records. These are our birth records from Portland General Hospital, official medical documentation of our delivery on July 15, 1992. I started reading aloud. 11:47 a.m. Twin A, that's you, Emma, shows signs of fetal distress. Umbilical cord compression detected. Oxygen flow restricted. The room was completely silent. 11:48 a.m. Decision made to deliver Twin A immediately. Emergency delivery performed. 11:49 a.m. Twin A delivered. Infant in respiratory distress. Requires immediate resuscitation. NICU team called. I looked at my parents. They were frozen. 11:49, 11:56 a.m. Twin B kept in utero to maintain placental blood flow to Twin A during resuscitation. Doctor's notes indicate this intervention potentially life-saving for Twin A. Emma's face had gone white. 11:56 a.m. Twin A stabilized. Twin B delivered. Strong vital signs, excellent APGAR scores, no medical intervention required. I read the APGAR scores. Emma, first test, 4 out of 10. 5-minute test, 7 out of 10. Required oxygen support and NICU monitoring for respiratory distress. Me, first test, 9 out of 10. 5-minute test, 9 out of 10. Transferred to regular nursery, no complications. I put the papers down. So for 25 years you've called Emma the good twin and me the worthless twin because she was born 2 minutes earlier. But she was born earlier because she was dying. I was kept inside Mom for 7 extra minutes to help keep her alive. The blood flow through our shared placenta, maintained by my delayed delivery, helped stabilize her during resuscitation. My mother couldn't speak. My father was staring at the papers like they were in a foreign language. And when we were finally both born, I continued, I was healthier, stronger vital signs, higher APGAR scores. I went to the regular nursery while Emma spent 3 days in the NICU. Emma looked at Mom. Is this true? Mom opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. We didn't think the medical details mattered, she finally said. You didn't think it mattered that I was kept in the womb to save Emma's life? I asked. That my worthlessness literally helped keep my twin sister alive? That's not what the records say, Dad argued weakly. It's exactly what they say. I held up the doctor's notes. Right here. Decision to delay delivery of twin B to maintain placental perfusion for twin A during critical resuscitation. This intervention likely prevented severe hypoxic injury to twin A. I looked at the room full of witnesses. I was delayed because my sister needed me, and when I was born, I was healthier and stronger. But none of that mattered to my parents because I came out second. Aunt Linda stood up. Patricia, Richard, is this true? You've been calling Claire worthless for being born second when she literally saved Emma's life? We didn't know about the placental blood flow thing, Mom stammered. You knew she needed NICU care, Aunt Linda said. You knew Claire was healthy immediately. You've had these babies' medical records for 32 years. You chose to ignore them. Emma was born first, Dad said, like that explained everything. Emma was born first because she was dying, I said. That's not an achievement. That's an emergency. Emma was crying. Mom, you told me I was special because I was firstborn. You said Claire was second-rate because she came after me. You are special, Mom said desperately. Why? Emma asked. Because I almost died at birth? That's not special, Mom. That's traumatic. She looked at me. Claire, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know about any of this. I know, I said. But you've heard them call me worthless for 25 years. You never once told them to stop. I thought it was just sibling stuff. I didn't realize that they meant it, I finished. They meant every word. My cousin Mark spoke up. Uncle Richard, Aunt Patricia, Claire is a senior VP at a Fortune 500 company. She makes $240,000 a year. She graduated summa cum laude from Harvard. She's published in major business journals. How is that worthless? She's not worthless, Mom said quickly. We never said. You called her worthless tonight, Aunt Linda interrupted. In front of 47 people. You said she was nature's mistake. We were joking, Dad said. For 25 years? I asked. That's a long joke, Dad. I picked up my purse. I'm leaving. I've spent 32 years being the worthless twin. I'm done. I'm done pretending it doesn't hurt. I'm done accepting less because I was born 7 minutes later than planned. I'm done being grateful for scraps of attention. I looked at the hospital records one more time. These papers prove I was healthy, strong, and literally helped save my twin's life before I even took my first breath. That's not worthless. That's miraculous. I looked at my parents. You saw a 2-minute gap between births and decided it defined our worth. You missed everything else. My health, my achievements, my entire existence. Because I wasn't first. Claire, please, Mom said. I also have these records. I held up another paper. The birth certificate. Want to know what else is interesting? In medical terminology, I'm baby B. Emma is baby A. But A and B are just labels. They don't mean better or worse. They mean which baby the doctor could reach first during delivery. In our case, Emma was baby A because she was in distress and needed immediate access. I was baby B because I was healthy enough to wait. The medical team chose who needed help most urgently. That's not a hierarchy of value. That's triage. I put everything back in my purse. I'm successful despite you, not because of you. I'm accomplished because I worked twice as hard as Emma to prove I deserved to exist, and I'm done. I walked toward the exit. Emma stood up. Claire, wait. I stopped. I'm sorry, she said. I should have stood up for you. All those times they called you worthless, I should have said something. I let them make you feel less than because it made me feel special. I'm sorry. I looked at my twin sister, identical to me in every way except the 2 minutes that had defined our lives. Thank you, I said, but I need space right now. From all of this. I left the party. 47 people watched me go. I didn't look back. The next day, Emma called. I got my own copy of the birth records, she said. I read everything. The NICU reports, the doctor's notes, all of it. Okay, I said. You saved my life, she said, before we were even born, and I let Mom and Dad treat you like garbage because it felt good to be the favorite. Emma. No, let me finish. I'm calling Mom and Dad right now. I'm telling them that if they can't acknowledge what they did to you, if they can't genuinely apologize and change, I'm done with them too. You don't have to do that, I said. Yes, I do. Because you're not worthless. You've never been worthless. You've been incredible, and I've been too selfish to see it. Over the next month, Emma followed through. She confronted our parents. When they tried to minimize it, she cut contact. My parents sent emails, apologizing, wanting to talk, claiming they never meant to hurt me. But they did hurt me. For 25 years, they hurt me. I sent one email back. You had 32 years to read our birth records, to ask questions, to see me as an individual instead of the second twin. You chose not to. You chose to build a narrative where being born second made me worthless. That was your choice. Not biology, not fate. You. My mother called after that email. We were wrong, she said. We were so wrong about everything. Yes, I said. You were. Can we fix this? I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe someday. But right now, I need you to understand that birth order doesn't determine worth. 2 minutes don't define a person's value. And I deserved love and respect regardless of whether I came first or second. You did, she said quietly. You do. We talk sometimes now, carefully, with boundaries. Emma and I are rebuilding our relationship. She's in therapy, working through the guilt of being the favorite. I'm in therapy, working through 25 years of being called worthless. We're identical twins. We share DNA, appearance, even gestures. But for 25 years, we were separated by a 2-minute gap our parents weaponized into a hierarchy of worth. Here's what I want you to understand if you're watching this. Birth order doesn't determine value. Being born first doesn't make you better. Being born second doesn't make you worse. These are arbitrary moments in time, not character judgments. If your family has decided that when you were born, how you were born, or what circumstances surrounded your birth define your worth, they're wrong. I was called worthless for 25 years because I was born 7 minutes later than my twin. Not because I failed at anything, not because I was less capable, because of 7 minutes I had no control over. Those 7 minutes, it turns out, potentially saved my sister's life. But even if they hadn't, even if I'd just been born second for no medical reason, that still wouldn't make me worth less. You are not worthless because you're the younger sibling. You're not less valuable because you weren't the first grandchild, the first to get married, the first to have kids. Your worth is inherent. It's not determined by timing or birth order or your parents' arbitrary preferences. I'm Claire Morrison. I'm the second-born twin who was kept in the womb to save my sister's life. I graduated summa cum laude from Harvard. I'm a senior VP making $240,000 a year. I'm published, awarded, successful. And my parents called me worthless for 25 years because I wasn't born first. Know your worth. It's not determined by when you arrived, in what order, or how your family decided to rank you. You're valuable because you exist. Drop a comment and tell me your story. Have you been compared to siblings and found lacking? How did you break free from those labels? I read every comment, and I'm rooting for you. Thank you for listening to mine.